Welcome back, guys. So today I want to try something a little different, little change of format, something that's very interesting to me and I hope is interesting to you, and that is how to find awesome retro deals. So recently I came up on a really awesome lot on eBay, and locally I got a pretty awesome deal on a bunch of bundled items as far as retro gaming goes. So looking back, you know, the retro gaming boom is just crazy nowadays. A lot of us sold our collections and are re-getting into it. You know, I'm just as guilty. But I want to say maybe 10, 11 years ago was kind of when it stopped, when it was, you know, you couldn't really find deals anymore. And it sucks, you know. It's very tough going out there and finding deals. A lot of people share with me these awesome deals that they find, and I'm just like, man, how the heck? When is it my turn? But I do have a system that I like to use, at least for eBay anyway, and same thing like on OfferUp and Let Go or Facebook Marketplace, that kind of thing. But it still can be pretty competitive out there in those different formats. Facebook Marketplace is going to be more local to where you're at. You can definitely come up on some awesome stuff. I've gotten some crazy deals on GameCube games that I just can't believe. But as far as eBay goes, I got a pretty awesome Sega Genesis lot. And I'm going to explain and show you what I got in a moment for the most part, and talk about what I paid and how I found this lot. So I've been looking for a Sega Genesis. I don't have an original Sega Genesis system. I have a handful of games. I wasn't big in the Sega Genesis when I was a kid or, you know, a youngster or whatever. But I did have friends who had a Sega Genesis, and I was exposed to that and played all the classics. The Streets of Rage games, Golden Axe, Altered Beast, Sonic the Hedgehog. And then a few little, you know, iconic things as well, for me anyway, that I do have some nostalgia for. Not as much as Nintendo games, but there's still quite a bit for Sega Genesis for me as well. And I've been itching. I needed to get a system. I really wanted to get a 32X as well, because I used to collect 32X. Sold everything, you know. It's a freaking story of my life, you know. But what I do on eBay is, you know, there's some tricks. A lot of people know, like search for lots, you know. You're looking for something that doesn't have the actual listing in the title. For example, you know, you're hunting down rare games or games that you're looking for, and maybe somebody who's selling an old collection, or some dude's mom that found a box in the closet or basement or attic or something, or garage, is going through and selling this stuff and just posts it up. Doesn't even know what it is. Sega Genesis lot. Yeah, you can find stuff like that, but a lot of people search that way. So to me, that's, you know, you can still find deals that way, but if they're auction style, it's going to be a lot more competitive. Buy it now. You got to be quick to find these things and grab them. The other thing could be miscategorized stuff, which, you know, people know about as well, looking for stuff that way. For me, it's kind of a combination of those things. But the biggest piece of it is misspellings. So this lot, for example, I'm not going to say exactly how it was worded, because, you know, I don't want to give up some of my tricks here. But as an example, if you searched for Sega Genesis, this lot would have not come up. If you searched for Sonic, it would have not come up. If you would have searched for 32X, it would not have come up. Even if you would have searched for Sega, this would not have come up. There's some misspellings and weirdness going on here, and it's very tough to find these. I'm not saying you could just figure this out and jump on there and type in a misspelling and find it. It's not exactly that easy, because there's so many different variables that go into it. But I just want to let you know, these crazy deals can be found due to errors on people's parts. It's unfortunate, and is it taking advantage? I don't think so. At least that's my opinion anyway. But this deal, I actually was bidding against somebody else, and I still got an awesome deal. Now I'll tell you what I spent in a minute, but let's kind of look at what I got. So first up, oh, I'm out of focus, my bad. And I don't know if I'm going to put anything behind this green screen or not, or just leave it as is. We'll see. We'll see. We'll figure it out. If there's something behind me, hey, we figured it out. Whatever, right? So Sega Genesis Model 2. You look at this bad boy. This freaking thing is clean. I mean, you even look at the bottom. There's no scratches and scuffs on any of those stickers or anything. There's some fingerprints from me holding it and, you know, whatever. A little dust and little crevices, but I can get all that out. But this thing is pretty good condition. Not worth a lot of money. It's not. But it's really nice condition. This was what I was looking for. I'm very particular. I understand these things are used for the most part. I don't want to buy a new one boxed, sealed. It's gonna be crazy expensive, but I want something that's in really good condition. I'm just very picky with that. I'll pay a little bit extra to get that versus something that's beat up and looks like a dog chewed on it, or somebody defecated on it. You find a lot of stuff like that freaking sucks. I think we might have talked about that in another video before. Not as advertised, essentially, not as described on eBay. But so there was that. Sega Genesis Model 2 came with all the cables, power. No, it didn't come with AV. It came with the RF module, which, you know, whatever. Came with 3 controllers. 2 of them were 3-button and pretty much new condition, and one of them was a 6-button, but some kind of third party, and it looked like that was the only controller they used, or maybe they bought it from somebody. I don't know, because it was pretty beat up and nasty. I'm not going to use it. So that was part of this. And it also came with a bunch of games. I'm not going to go over all the games because there was a bunch of them. A lot of them were loose, but there was a nice handful that were boxed. But I'm going to go over the ones that kind of surprised me. Not crazy valued, but pretty nice nonetheless. So Sonic 2, I already have it. I have several copies of Sonic 2. Every time I find a lot, Sonic 2 is always in there, including this lot. Came with, I think, a couple extra Sonics that were loose. But this one, for example, like these other boxed ones I'm going to show you, the game is crisp, clean. When you take it out and you look at it, doesn't look like anybody ever inserted this into a console. There's no scuffs, there's no scratches, there's no, you know, wear marks, nothing. The label doesn't even look like anybody breathed on it. The manual doesn't even look like anybody ever opened it. Doesn't even look like they ever took it out of the box. I thought that was pretty awesome. Not a crazy value game. In this condition, I would say maybe $20. 25 maybe, I don't know. Not crazy, right? But if you take, you know, you say, let's just say 20 bucks, say the system 20 bucks, that's $40 already. Which we'll talk about what I paid in a moment. And another 5 boxed games that are all in the same condition as that. And the manual, same thing. Like, they never were removed from these boxes and they were never used. Just nuts. I mean, there's a bunch of games that did look like they were used, but all these boxed ones look like they just sat there. So first up, Desert Strike. Crisp, clean. Doesn't even seem like anybody breathed on it, right? The manual, same thing. I just thought it was amazing. These are not crazy value games, but it's pretty awesome that it's essentially the whole collection of these Strike games. Jungle Strike, same thing. Crisp, clean, never used, it looks like. Urban Strike, same condition. Awesome stuff. LHX, the EA Air Force game, Tac Chopper, pretty much, you know, goes along with these. Clean. Doesn't look like it was ever used. Another EA Air Force F-22 Interceptor, Advanced Tactical Fighter. Same thing, awesome condition, like it was never used. Next up, you know, and I'm not even sure how much those are worth. I don't think they're worth a lot, but hey, even if you priced each one of those at, let's just say $5, which they're clean and pretty much new, I would say $10 maybe. I don't think these are high value games, but that's 5 games right there, so $25 to $50, right? Game Genie. Complete in box, not exactly new looking, but you know, B grade. It was used, but Not very much. Maybe 3 times, I don't know, but book and everything in here. Pretty awesome stuff. This came in the lot as well. But yep, your little book full of codes. And your Game Genie, a little dust on it, but the label's clean. Not too much in the way of scratches or anything. Pretty good stuff. But that was part of the lot. Loose games, I don't have them sitting here, but a bunch of loose games, a bunch of them. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist in a really bad condition, but works. Ghostbusters. Some Sonic the Hedgehog games. Knuckles, Sonic and Knuckles, but it was missing the little flap. But it works. It's pretty dirty, cleaned it up, but it works. There was a total of over 20 games that came in this lot, but I haven't even said the price yet. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is this. Ugh. Focus. Sega 32X. Pretty much new on the box, right? Pretty much new in the box. Let me open this thing. I'll just take the 32X out. Do I got this upside down? No. Has everything. The little metal pieces for the Sega, you know, CD thing or whatever. I don't know. Bunch of stuff. Some of the cables never even removed. Still sealed. I don't know if this was really ever used. I mean, I think it was, but it's clean. Still got the little neck brace. And there she is. No major scuffs or scratches. I always see the sides on these things are all dinged up. This is like perfect. Like as if it was new. The back, where everything plugs in, that little plate, no scratches or scuffs. A lot of times you see these, they're all like dinged up from non-stop, yeah, you know, whatever. The little metal tabs, you see very minor, you know, they do over time kind of get scratches on them. See, it's not crazy. This thing was very lightly used. The slot's clean. A lot of times you see these, they're full of dust and garbage. This thing sat in this box for a while. Pretty nuts. But what did I pay for this lot? After shipping, just a little bit over 40 bucks. That is crazy. I've been coming up on some pretty decent deals as of late, and I'm super excited about this one. Most of the stuff I do not want. I'm just going to get rid of it, get my money back, and maybe a little extra so I can get some of the things that I want. All I really wanted was Sega Genesis and the 32X, and I'm good. And I'm happy with what I got. The price that I paid is unbelievable. I'm not sure what they paid for shipping, but it almost seems like it wasn't worth selling this. Pretty nuts, but super happy about this. A lot of other things I've been buying lately. Not getting crazy deals. Local, I got a really awesome deal, and we'll talk about that another time. Today, I just wanted to highlight this eBay deal and kind of discuss one of the tricks that I go through to find these kind of things, and that's misspellings. Takes some work, but I'm sure you could figure it out. How many different ways can you misspell Sega Genesis or video game lot, you know, whatever. But appreciate you guys stopping in. Like I said, just a little change of pace. Smash that like button, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Appreciate it. And with that said, guys, I will catch y'all next time. Bye-bye. Boom.